What if there was just one simple mental switch that could totally transform our workplaces for the better? Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful thought experiment that does exactly that. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let me start with a question for you. If you had a magic wand, you could do anything. What one thing would you change to truly empower people at work? It's a huge question, right? I bet a whole bunch of different answers just popped into your head. Well, the answer we're looking at today is surprisingly simple, but wow, is it profound. The idea is this: just remove the lens of gender. What if we just stopped seeing gender first and instead just saw the professional standing in front of us? That's the core idea we're going to unpack. So let's really dig into what that means. We're talking about something called the gender lens, and you can think of it kind of like an invisible filter that we all have, one that shapes how we see and evaluate people. And a lot of the time, we don't even know we're doing it. Okay, so how does this play out in the real world? Well, let's say we're looking at a job candidate, and the very first thing our brain registers is woman. What happens next is this whole cascade of secondary evaluations that just kind of kicks in automatically. And just look at how specific these filters get. I mean, none of this has anything to do with her actual professional skills, right? It's all about her personal life. Is she married? Does she have kids? Is she taking care of her parents? It creates this whole cloud of assumptions that has absolutely nothing to do with her ability to crush it at the job.
But, and this is the really stark part, when we see a man, all of that just goes away. We tend to bypass all those personal filters. We just see, well, a professional. It's such a clear, powerful illustration of that double standard. This lens gets applied to one gender, but so often not the other.
All right, so that's the problem. But what's the fix? Well, that brings us to a whole new way of looking at things. A vision for a world that operates beyond this binary. A world that puts capability first, period. And it really is such a powerful what if, isn't it? I mean, what would actually happen if we just stripped all of that gendered stuff away and our only focus was on the raw capability of the person right in front of us? So, this idea isn't just a concept. It actually breaks down into a super practical 4-step framework. Here's how it works. Step 1, you assess their raw capability. Simple. Step 2, you look at their education. Step 3, you figure out what they can actually deliver. And only then, after all that, comes step 4, you provide the support they need to succeed. See how it just completely flips the usual script? Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little theoretical, a bit abstract, but the author actually grounds this whole idea in a really powerful personal story. This isn't just an idea, it's something she actually lived, and it shows how this can work in the real world. So the story kicks off early in her career. She joins this big bank as part of a huge recruitment drive for new officers. So right from the start, the stage was set for an environment where, in theory at least, everyone was starting from the same place. And right here, you can see these two totally different paths her career could have taken. On the left, you've got what actually happened. Assignments and locations were based purely on the roles available. Everyone got the same shop. But on the right, that's the alternative, the path where a bias system would step in, limiting opportunities based on gender.
And this was the absolute key moment. Her boss didn't step in and try to, quote, protect her by making her decisions for her. He didn't just assume, oh, she's a woman, she'll probably feel unsafe moving to a new city. Instead, he treated her like a capable professional. And that right there gets to the absolute heart of what true empowerment really is. It wasn't about getting special treatment, it was the total opposite. It was about the company showing confidence in her. That trust is what gave her the space to face challenges head-on, to ask for help when she needed it, and ultimately to build her own character and career. So this all leads us to the big takeaway here. What can we actually do with this? Well, it all comes down to consciously shifting our own perspective and deciding on the path forward. You see, the impact of that one experience, that one boss, it wasn't just some small temporary thing. Being seen as a professional first, as an individual capable of making her own choices, that shaped her entire career. It just goes to show how powerful this seemingly small shift in perspective can be. So we're left with this really simple but powerful invitation. It's a challenge, really, for all of us, to actively push our own perspectives forward. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What would change in your workplace, in your world, if we all truly committed to seeing the professional first? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.